show.
You can't curse at the beginning.
Oh. Welcome to the damn show.
Beep. That's still a curse.
No, damn's not, because I was
Word
talking
of
about a
curse.
place where beavers go. Anyway, it's the SKIDS Podcast. I am Shane Kopke. I'm here with Tim Gage and Kevin McNichols, who's eating all the nicotine.
All the nicotine.
Yay! This is going to be absolutely a fucking train wreck.
Woo!
That's why Tim dressed as a train conductor, because of how much of a train wreck this is going to be. That's great, dude.
He is our conductor for the day.
Choose to fucking do something on this show.
I am. I'm choosing the right.
Of what?
The right to look like a train conductor?
Yeah.
Ah,
It's comfortable. It's my walking around outfit.
it does look kind of comfortable.
It is comfortable, goddammit. So, fuck you guys. That's another curse word for you.
Oh, no, we're already
And what kind of soda
a
is
little
that?
bit in.
There,
This?
Kevin? Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Oh, it's
It says lemon lime soda.
Winco Foods brand lemon lime soda.
Oh, okay.
Kevin,
Little plug for Winco.
no, Kevin, that was just great. You don't even know, because you're sitting over there, and you're just like, oh, this is an innocent question. It's not an innocent question.
Not an innocent question. Okay.
He's making fun. It's because it's just lemon fucking lime
most
soda on the front of it.
Basic fucking. Jeez,
And you're like,
I
oh,
had
shit,
no
he's
idea.
really asking.
what's that
I had-
taste like?
I had
Well,
no
at
idea.
first I thought you were talking to me. I was like, this is the same shit I have
Well,
every
it's
time.
it's
just
natural,
oh, well, that's
naturally flavored.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
it's
then
good
where
to
else?
know.
I'm sure somewhere else on it says a lot of artificial too.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
great.
the entire back.
Yeah.
Says yeah. Long
Soda
list.
pop.
Long list.
Yeah, it's a ton of fucking nonsense.
So they got a soda pop. But some people call it pops. I think the New
You know.
Yorkers call them pops.
Eventually,
I call it pop.
eventually-
Dude, when I was a kid, that's all we called it was pop.
Actually, eventually, this might become a collector's item because RFK Jr. is going to ban all this shit.
No, he better not.
I'm just kidding. I don't.
The
think
fake
he is,
sugar,
but-
he should. The real sugar, leave it alone.
No, my thing is, like, you should be able to have whatever we have right now. I mean, get rid of the things that are actually deadly. That's
Like-
fine.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely things that we have.
Cobras.
Yes,
Well,
get rid of cobras.
That's what RFK
We're
wants
gonna
to do. He
cull
wants-
all the
He wants
cobras.
to cull the cobras. And sharks. And fucking piranhas.
Well, he should really get rid of my favorite player in the NHL right now getting hurt.
Oh, who's that? Jack Hughes?
Well, it's probably not my favorite. I mean, but
I
He's
hear
definitely-
he's a devil, man.
he's yeah, that's my favorite fucking team.
Yeah.
And he got injured in the fucking
Is that really his name, Jack Hughes?
Jack Hughes.
Hey,
He's got
I remembered.
he's got two other brothers in the league too.
Is that right?
Yeah, Quinn Hughes, who plays for Vancouver, and his brother Luke Hughes,
Cool.
who also plays for the Devils. They're trying to get Quinn over there too. Which
Well,
would
why
be
wouldn't they? I mean, to
Dude,
get the whole family
it would
there.
be fucking awesome.
The whole family just
'Cause-
teaming up on
well,
people.
Quinn's
like the Hart Foundation.
Just gangbanging
all
left
the
and
all the
right.
Harts are wrestlers.
yeah.
Get all the Hughes as hockey
Quinn is
players.
potentially like the best defenseman in the league. I mean, there's some argument for Makar also, but
That's usually how it goes with hockey.
Yeah.
Everybody's the best.
no.
Until they're not.
He's already won a Norris Trophy, which is
Oh.
for the best defenseman.
That's
But no,
cool.
Hughes ended up going hard into the boards, and he just had shoulder surgery last year, and today, which would be yesterday for everybody else, but he went back to Colorado where he got the surgery done, and they evaluated it, talked to him and his family, and they were like, yeah, we should probably do surgery again. So he's going to be out for the rest of the season, including playoffs, and won't be back until training camp for next year, which fucking sucks because he's the best player on the team by far. Well, Brat's pretty good too. I mean, that guy's fucking solid.
His name is Brat?
Yeah, his name's Jesper Bratt. He's Swedish? I believe?
Jesper?
Jesper Bratt.
Jesper or Jesper? I'm not
Well, if it's
entirely
Swedish,
sure.
I'm sure it's Jesper.
I think he's Swedish. I think.
I think it's funny how they say guy and Guy.
Guy?
Yeah.
That French?
Guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
French Canadian.
Guy
It's
Ledoux.
Guy Ledoux.
But yeah, so unfortunately, I'm going to be very sad for the next few months of hockey because the Devils are slowly sliding out of a playoff spot, which is not going to be good. Yeah.
Sadness.
So you know, that's the death of my hopes for this. But speaking of other deaths,
Yes. We
It's
had
a wild one, man.
Watch,
a
he brings
famous
up
death.
something completely different.
It's so fucking wild, this one, too. I mean, it just sucks also getting older and watching all our heroes die.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved him in pretty much everything he did.
Royal
he always
He was
Tenenbaum.
played
great in every. Yeah,
Royal
he was.
Tenenbaum was fucking awesome character. I loved him in that movie.
Yeah.
Because he made that movie, in my
Dude,
opinion.
Yeah,
Unforgiven. He was fucking amazing.
Unforgiven.
Yeah.
I
Is that
watched-
with Russell Crowe.
No, that's
that's
Quick
Quick
and the Dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
This
that's
is the one
Clint
with
Eastwood.
Clint
it was Clint
Eastwood,
Eastwood's
yeah.
first directorial debut.
I think so. Yeah.
Morgan Freeman, Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman. I mean, those
Yeah.
were like the top billed
the big
stars.
names. Yeah.
And it's
Fantastic
just
movie.
an excellent fucking film.
Yeah.
Have you ever
He's
seen
such
Unforgiven?
A good bad guy.
It sounds familiar, but I don't think so.
He plays like this corrupt sheriff in this town that they go to, and it turns out, of course, Clint Eastwood is like this. He used to be basically a fucking madman killer.
Yeah. I think you're also kind of remembering it from the childhood perspective, because I watched it recently.
Well, I saw it a couple of years ago.
Okay,
but,
but watching it recently, nobody's innocent in this.
No,
nobody, not
Oh,
a
yeah.
fucking person.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. They're not,
and that's what I love about it.
yeah.
It's raw.
Uh-huh.
It's way more raw than Hollywood was in the '90s.
Yeah.
Because there was
I
no.
agree.
I mean, what else was there except for like weird B movies?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every once in a while you'd come across a gem where you're like, oh, this is like kind of real life like.
Well, and the thing is, Unforgiven was a couple of years before movies like Pulp Fiction and stuff like that started coming out.
Yeah.
So it was like, I think Reservoir Dogs maybe came out the same year, but
Yeah, it was
maybe the next
early
year,
'90s.
I think it was 92.
Yeah, I remember. Well, my
Um,
dad actually took me to see Unforgiven in the theater.
Oh,
When I
really?
was a kid, because he liked Clint Eastwood, and my dad loved the movie. I loved it. I walked out, loving it, because I didn't like westerns, but this
Yeah.
was gritty.
That's
This
the
was-
thing about this movie. Even people that don't like westerns love this movie because it's so well written, so well acted, and like you said, it's gritty as hell.
Yeah.
It is. Nobody's a good guy. You see the flaws in
Yes.
everyone.
And Gene Hackman played that sheriff just
so good,
so well. Like,
They made an Asian version with Ken Watanabe.
Oh,
What?
Ken,
Why?
Ken Watanabe.
Yeah, Watanabe in 2013.
They made like a remake.
I guess so. It's called Unforgiven.
well,
Now,
I will
is
mention
it-
one thing
is it
though.
a western?
Just because we were
Looks
talking about like gritty fucking western type
Yeah.
movies. If you guys haven't seen American Primeval, watch it. Excellent on Netflix.
I haven't seen it.
It's just a 6-part miniseries. It's about the Mormon expansion and Mormon war with the U.S.
Oh, okay.
In Utah.
Uh-huh.
I mean they've got
Was that during Joseph Smith's?
No,
like,
this
when
is
he was-
way after.
Oh, this is after.
This is
Oh,
way
okay.
after because you've got
Was it
Brigham Young.
I was gonna say Brigham Young.
So
yeah.
Brigham Young is played by the guy that is fucking crazy in Waterworld. The fucking
Kim Coates.
Yes.
Kim Coates is
Yeah.
awesome.
He plays this character fucking great, just scheming and shit, right? And I know we're kind of getting off the topic
Yeah,
of
we'll
the
get back
Gene
to it.
Hackman thing, but the reason I'm coming up with this because that how gritty that was. This is that and more because it's just barbaric gritty.
Wow.
And I didn't realize how fucking ruthless Mormons were.
Oh, I'm sure back then they were. I mean, different times.
Brigham Young is like completely celebrated, and he okayed a massacre.
yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, no, kill them all.
And the
Make it
name
look
of-
like the natives did it."
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was fucking wild.
Yep.
So yeah,
But yeah,
Gene Hackman. the late great Gene Hackman has passed.
Well,
And there's some strange circumstances to his death because it wasn't just his death. Not only was he found dead, but his wife and their dog were also found dead.
and his wife
In
is
separate rooms.
in separate rooms.
Yeah.
He was 93, she was 63. The dog, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Well, at first everyone was speculating it was carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And something like
Yeah.
But
that.
there was nothing detected.
Some
and the
leak or
front door was
something,
wide open, I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then they're
And there's lots
I
of
mean-
weird like speculations going around online. Like one of the things I saw was because he's got 2 daughters, right? And one of the daughters was supposedly like super close with him, and like for the last month before this happened,
no contact.
no contact. And she would contact, they would contact all the time. And, they're, another thing, I guess they were seen, laughing and everything, right after it. Just weird shit where people were like, that doesn't seem right for somebody that just lost their father.
Yeah. Well, and I guess so. It says that police, they've been investigating. So they've been going through all the stuff in the house, the trash, food, all sorts of stuff. And so far,
negative for carbon monoxide.
Yeah, they tested negative for carbon monoxide. And apparently, like you said, there was no detection of any kind of leaks or anything. And so now we're waiting for autopsy and toxicology.
Oh yeah,
reports.
that was another thing I saw was that the pacemaker actually might be a huge key to this whole thing.
Oh, really? Yeah, so it says the last recorded activity on Hackman's pacemaker occurred February 17th, leading authorities to believe that was his last day alive, 9 days before his body was discovered.
So over a week. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, but he could have been laying there for a week.
He could have been. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
He could have just been laying on the ground.
Maybe, yeah.
With his pacemaker still working, alive, and not being able to move.
No, because the pacemaker stopped.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying is...
so no.
Can you be dead with the pacemaker still operational?
What? The pacemaker was off 9 days before they found his body.
Yeah, what I'm saying
meaning
is...
that he was likely dead that day.
Yeah, but what if he was dead a couple days prior to and the pacemaker was still working?
That's
what I'm curious about.
That might be possible.
You know what I mean? Because
the way we're making it sound like the pacemaker just kept him alive for a week on the floor.
Yeah.
It's no, not likely.
No, I'm saying he could be laying on the floor dead with his pacemaker still working.
Yeah, potentially, I don't know how they work.
Yeah, neither do I. That's why I asked the question, Shane.
No,
that's why I posed the question.
Okay, flat earther. Yeah.
Ouch. Again, cutting to the quick, bud.
Yeah.
That's just right getting there.
Right to the bone, motherfucker.
But
it hurts, dude.
it says that the detectives they call it their deaths suspicious circumstances. Obviously, I guess.
Yeah, it's weird.
They obtained 2 cell phones, an orange prescription bottle, and a 2025
Yeah, they
planner.
said pills were scattered everywhere. I remember hearing that.
So it's really, really weird circumstances, and
well, and who knows? Maybe they had a pact where they're like, "Fuck it, on this day, look, if things don't get better, let's just end it."
Who knows?
We don't want to move. We don't like Trump.
What was
we're
major?
just gonna stay.
Yeah, maybe that. Honestly, maybe that was the thing.
Yeah, they're like, we're not gonna leave. I'm too old to move,
and we can't live.
Well,
under
they weren't.
This tyrant.
They did live. They lived in New Mexico, so.
I don't see Gene Hackman as super.
I see
super
his wife
liberal.
as the type.
Why? Because she was Asian.
Yes,
you are racist.
I am. They're just out for nothing but money.
So the thing is, though, if it were suicide, don't you think that would be a bit more obvious?
Well, no. I mean, with all the pills scattered around, maybe.
Well,
I mean,
they lay
maybe
in
someone
bed
dropped the
together
pills when
and
they died. When they fell or something. Maybe they had them in their.
Yeah, but why would they both die like that? You know what I'm saying?
I don't
That's
know.
2 people
it's
and
very
a dog.
Strange. Yeah.
At the same time,
it's very strange. It
Why
really
take
is.
the dog? But the dog was in the kennel, so the dog could have just.
Was the dog in the kennel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have
okay.
died of dehydration.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
It's New Mexico.
That's pretty.
Well, also
tragic
if
way
you've
for
got,
a dog to go.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, and if you got 9 days, where the dog's stuck in there without water.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were
saying.
saying.
It's a terrible way for a dog
You
to
should,
go.
Yeah.
you should repeat it. Say that again. Do it again.
I already did.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry.
So
I didn't realize that you were repeating things.
yeah, you pointed that out already, Shane. Good job.
Well done, Shane.
Hey, what type of drink is that again?
It's a fucking root beer.
What's it taste like?
Roots
And beer?
and beer.
So I started a quick video game back to the
Probably
video
go
games
back
because
do the Amoranth after this, though.
the Amoranth,
Yeah.
Whatever her name is.
Black Myth Wukong.
No, I'm not talking about that. We can talk about that, but
Yeah,
I want to talk about the video games now.
Go for it.
That's what I'm doing. But
Fucking
you're all like,
say
wait,
it.
let's talk
Yes,
about
have
this.
that ready.
Let's have this rich, beautiful woman.
Have that ready.
I can't
talk
I'm
about
not
your
gonna
fucking
follow up on that.
goddamn
The game's
game.
good. It is really good. But at the
Jesus
same
Christ.
time, not at all. Not at all what I was expecting. As I'm getting further into it, it's becoming more of a path-based boss game.
That was the only gripe that I had with.
It's
God
not.
damn
It's
it.
not open world at all like Elden Ring.
What is that?
The character development's really good. The whole storyline, but it's separate storylines that I guess all eventually will tie into each other. But it's really hard to follow the storyline because it's translated,
Well, yeah.
and so like the poetry of it doesn't quite work as well. The voice acting is okay.
Wouldn't it be funny if you learned Mandarin and you're like, oh, it doesn't translate even in their own fucking
It is very open-ended. Like, yeah, it's very.
Well, that was kind of the way I felt.
Fun.
That's kind of the way I felt with Lords of the Fallen too. Like, I love the game. Like, the gameplay of it was great, but there is a lot of like, we'll take this path, and it's like, I have to.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I did love about that game was the fact that you could go from one world to another world. You went from the world of the living to the world of the dead,
which was cool,
and you could do one at any time.
Yeah, which kind of reminded me a little of Soul Reaver, where you could go from the real world to like the material world to the spectral realm.
I think if they would have done it in an open world, kind of like Elden Ring, kind of like the game you're playing,
Black
Myth. I think open world might be the way to go now.
I think that would have done this game a lot more justice
for
how beautiful it is, but probably why they didn't, because of how beautiful it is. I mean, it's such a spacious area that's so well.
So, are you playing that on a computer?
Yeah, it's PC.
Okay, the game you need to get for computer is oh fuck, what is? God damn it, the one with Jin in it. Jin, the fucking samurai.
Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
That you should get. Yeah. Open world.
Yeah, I've
fucking
heard
gorgeous.
It's a fantastic game.
This one showed up. The reason I got it is it showed up on discount for me. I'm like, well, why not? I'll try it out.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it
I've heard good things about it.
You can get it, the full version of it, or you can get it. I guess you want to call it a dumbed down version.
Lower fidelity.
Yeah, low fidelity for lesser computers.
Oh,
so
really?
You don't have to have a really nice machine to run the game.
That's kind of cool that they have that option.
Yeah.
Yeah, so most games don't. They just tell you to turn it down in the settings.
Exactly.
Or go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Right.
So that one's kind of nice. I mean, I still had to change a few settings here and there.
Is it still a little bit too much?
There's some tearing, I guess it's called.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's why get Ghost of Tsushima, because that is a PlayStation 4 game. It'll be perfect on there.
Yeah.
There's also a setting. Most games have them these days that you can turn on to stop that tearing.
Is that right? Anti-aliasing or whatever.
Anti-aliasing.
No.
Yeah. What? Wasn't anti-aliasing?
That would be VSync.
Oh, VSync. I'm sorry, VSync. Yeah,
I think that's a monitor thing, though,
yeah,
isn't
but
it?
don't turn it on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
It's not a. First off, if the game's running at low frame rate, and then you turn on VSync, you're gonna see a lot of stuttering versus the tearing.
It's
And
definitely
it's like, which is better.
Yeah, it is
I'd rather
harder
see
on the system.
a little bit of tearing than a lot of stuttering.
Right.
But with Ghost of Tsushima, you can play it like Elden Ring. You can actually set it up to where it's basically like almost like one-hit kills and shit. So you have to actually learn how to fight versus just fucking go in there.
Yeah,
and
I will say this
around.
about this game: the boss battles can be frustrating.
Yeah,
because it's like, how the fuck do I beat this monster?
Yeah,
and it's just keep going, keep over and over and over and over again until you learn the pattern. But again, it's not a very consistent pattern.
Yeah,
but you'll learn a special move that's supposed to help counter this certain boss, but you got to earn it. It's just, fight several bosses to beat the main boss. Can't go straight to the main boss. And then a lot of grinding, essentially, to level up, to get better abilities. And
you're
stuff
on
like
Grinder, right?
Not anymore,
Oh,
no.
I had a bad experience.
Yeah.
He's like,
wait,
wait,
I'm still paying
that's
for
what
that.
this is for? I had no idea.
But yeah, it's a
thought
fun
it
game.
was a
If you have the
coffee
means
thing.
and get a chance, check it out. Weren't they touting it as like the #1 game when it first came out?
When it first came out, I remember, everybody was like raving about it.
We did a little bit on it for a little bit.
Yeah, we watched a trailer.
That also could just be like China trying to buy its graces into the because look, China's kind of new to the big video game thing.
Yeah,
because they've never really been into like.
Well, they were doing a lot of like mobile.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is like, what big video games have you heard come from China? That's the first one I'd really heard of.
I don't know. I know that
all
for
your
a
base
while
are
there
belong
they
to
were.
us.
Huh?
Remember that one?
That was a bad translation of an old NES game.
I know, but wasn't that a Chinese made game?
I think
Japanese?
it was Japanese.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they take a lot of those titles, yeah.
Yeah, but Japanese is they've had good games for a long time.
Japan's like one of the leading video game creators in the world. Have been since forever. I mean, the 80s probably.
I mean, the U.S. is another one.
Yeah.
And a lot. I saw on YouTube there was one guy going, "Oh, it's finally happening. Like the world's actually better
Soul
at video
Calibur?
games than we
Yeah.
are."
Wasn't
and it's
that
like
a Chinese game?
No.
Soul Calibur wasn't.
No, that's Japanese.
There was.
Damn.
China isn't a video game producer.
No.
They did.
They
did Black Myth.
Yes.
See, so China, they're more known for like mobile games and for like the online
Identity
like
theft.
Identity
MMOs,
theft.
online like MMOs and
And
stuff like
stealing
that.
your data.
Right.
And
like-
copyright infringement.
Yes.
And
stealing-
not giving a shit
Stealing
about
intellectual property.
trademarks.
Yeah, exactly.
Tariffs.
No, you gotta, Tim. You gotta remember that when we grew up, China was like super communist.
Oh, I mean, they're
Like,
definitely still communist.
They're still communist, but they're more. They've traipsed slightly into at least the veneer of capitalism.
Well, it's kind of a mix of communism and
Yes.
capitalism.
But what I'm
you
saying
know?
though is they've traipsed more into the veneer, and then if you're good with the country and its leadership, you can make as much money as you'd like to.
Sure. Yeah.
Video games.
I mean, that's why I like
China.
Hollywood.
It's not going to be much.
Well, that's why Hollywood
he's
bends over backwards to fucking to be.
Yeah,
play
they make
nice
all
with
the
China.
black people like almost
They
non-existent
They
in their
do.
movies.
The Star Wars movie was
Yeah.
one of the famous ones.
They made him like tiny.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you couldn't
just in the
see him.
Chinese posters and stuff. Yeah,
It's fucking crazy.
I know. But they don't like black people over there, apparently.
It is.
No,
it's a lot of mobile games.
I don't know if you've seen the video of basketball players getting off the fucking bus in China.
No,
It's not great.
it's not.
There's a lot of words used, and it's mainly one word over and over and over.
I see.
What word is it? Say
I
it
see.
loud and say it proud.
Actually, China does have a word that's very similar to it, which means I forget. It's like
Well, what's the word?
It's a
Shane?
multi-meaning one.
Well, it's Mandarin, so I mean, I don't know.
No, they have a word that's almost exactly the same as that word.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It means like that or them,
Oh,
but they were not saying that word.
right. Yeah.
They were saying the other one very clearly.
Oh.
Yeah. They're pretty racist over there.
Yeah.
In spots, I would assume.
They tend to not hide it either.
No.
Very, very open about that.
It's
About
'cause
their
they're not
racism.
woke.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
They got rid of the woke stuff a long time ago.
Yeah, that's
Well,
why.
remember that they kind of had their DEI too, where they would just murder the firstborn daughter. You know, they're like,
Right.
we have a quota. Can only have one child, and it's not a daughter.
Yeah. They would sell the daughters off.
Or they would drown them in a fucking river right next to whatever village they were in.
Probably beat the shit out of the mom for having it.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Your
Another daughter?
your
That's
loins
it.
are
Yeah.
fucking shit."
So, speaking of loins, the
Gird 'em up,
the streamer, a famous female streamer named Amaranth.
From OnlyFans. You know her? You
OnlyFans,
love her?
Twitch. She's been around for a long
I think
time.
she's
She
actually
certainly does
more
make some
well
things
known for
Twitch.
Twitch.
more well known for
sure.
Twitch.
At
yeah.
least to the regular public.
Yeah.
You know.
There she is at TwitchCon right there.
Now that I'm getting a closer look at her face, she looks very plastic. Jesus.
So she the
She's
other
got the money
day
to do it.
I guess got her house was
Burgled.
broken in. Yep,
Good
burgled.
word.
And
I like that word a lot.
apparently the people that were trying to rob her were trying to rob crypto, Bitcoin specifically.
so
Give me
appar-
that flash drive.
So
Which,
apparently,
yeah, how the fuck? I mean, can't they trace cryptocurrency? Isn't it
well,
like
they
a
said
ledger and
they
stuff?
said you couldn't at one point, which
Yeah.
is why they would use it on like the Silk Road and shit like
right.
that. But no, there's always it's electronic evidence.
Yeah.
You can trace that always, as far as I know. But so she'd been saying things on I don't know Twitch or whatever she was streaming, talking about how much Bitcoin she has, which is like, what was it, 290 or something like
yeah,
that?
something like that.
290 Bitcoin worth
which-
over 20,
yeah.
like 24
Which right
million
now,
dollars.
Yeah.
right now, I actually just checked yesterday at the time. Bitcoin was at like $80,000.
It's over 90 right now.
Well, no, it was. It's
Yeah.
down. It's down right now.
no,
but,
it's actually up.
No, I was just checking yesterday.
And I just checked today. It's at 90. You fucking jackass.
Well,
Hey, you
it
guys-
wasn't yesterday.
you guys wanna
Yesterday
buy
it
a
was like
Bitcoin?
80 something. But
We can mine
It's
one.
at $91,213.82.
So it's gone up a lot since yesterday because everything was
Yeah,
down
because
yesterday.
this right here, I guarantee you, this played
well,
a huge role in the price of it going up.
You know, that's the thing about cryptocurrency.
And yesterday
It's,
was
you know,
what, the 4th? It was down
I
to
think it was like
83.
yeah, that's
or
it.
82,000.
Yeah,
So you're
that's
gonna
where I
make
saw that.
$10,000
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
you own one,
yeah. It
yeah, but you
happens.
can also lose 10,000 in one day.
Yeah.
True.
So it definitely happens. I'd say if you've got Bitcoin, hold.
But yeah, she was kind of bragging about it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And my estimate would be, I mean, if you have $25 million or whatever it is in Bitcoin, you're probably, with all the other assets, worth close to $100 million or more.
I'm sure. Yeah.
She's definitely got some assets.
Yes,
She
she
does.
does.
Really nice asset.
Anyway, 3 people ended up holding her at gunpoint, pistol whipping her, and kind of beating her.
Yeah.
We have a video.
There is a video.
It's gonna be
yes.
porn. Please be porn. Please.
Actually,
I
you know
believe-
what
Hold up.
you know what would also make Kevin hilarious if we just did the 9/11 joke over and over and over again. He just showed the planes hitting the towers. Every time we had
Every
you
time
bring
we have
up
a video.
anything. Kevin, get on this. You know how funny you could be. It would be your one fucking joke, and it would be great every fucking time.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Please.
thanks.
So let's check out this video. It's not very long. It's about 53 seconds.
Does it have sound? Okay, it does. So this is outside her house. Early
Dogs?
morning.
Is there dogs?
Yeah, apparently they're not doing anything. Yeah, she's
That's
being
her?
chased. Yeah.
What's in here?
I'm so tired. Come on. Go.
She seemed like she was being very helpful.
Well, they pistol whipped her.
Yeah.
What's in here?
Oh, there's the gunshots.
Yeah.
I guess one of them was hit.
Yeah, one of them was hit. Her husband ended up firing at them. From
property.
reports I've heard. Oh no, dude, she's loaded.
Those are 3 morons,
Oh.
by the way. 3 total morons.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you want to get robbed, just brag about.
Oh,
shit you
yeah,
have.
she shouldn't have been bragging about it, but the fact is these guys are dumb, thinking they were going to be able to steal cryptocurrency from her.
People have done it though. I mean, that's the thing. But they're usually doing it in a smart way, where
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, send me this thing."
Not like
it's
that,
a
yeah,
link.
not like that way.
'Cause-
Like, what were they going to do? Take her cell phone
'cause
and be
wasn't
like,
there-
give me your sign-in information.
Wasn't there someone? Well, I mean, you could potentially do it that way.
Potentially, yeah.
And then all they would have to
Yeah.
do is then fucking move it.
Yeah, and then
And
what
then-
account it went to, and then have the cops go to that
and then the
person
cops
who
could
owns
find
No,
out
you-
whose account it was. Yeah.
You could trick
it.
them
Oh, so you can
things.
launder it.
Something
there's
tells me-
ways to trick that.
Tell us how to
stuff.
do it.
I have a
Not-
feeling that those guys
No, they might.
were
they,
not smart
They
enough
were
to
probably
do
not
that.
going to do it. They
Why
were.
do you say that?
I just because I think they
No, really,
No, why? That's a
I'm
good
curious.
question.
because they seem like dumb fucks.
Why did they seem that
But
way,
why?
Kevin? Is it their...
Because of the way they robbed, the way they went about this.
Yeah, and how was that?
Did you not see?
I mean, so that's the way they looked? Is that what you're saying?
Kevin,
No,
are
the
you-
way they acted, you fucking idiot. They were wearing masks. They were all white dudes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about like
You
the
trying to go the racist route here? Like,
I
they're
thought
all
Kev-
white dudes wearing masks. You
I-
can see it in the video.
I thought Kevin was going to be like, the most dangerous type of ice is, right? It's very dangerous. Like the other ice you can see, and that's fine. But this one type of ice, very dangerous.
It's a killer.
I don't think he gets it.
It's a killer.
What type of ice is the most dangerous type of ice?
Say it, Kevin.
Dry ice.
Hey, that's clever. Very well done, dude.
Nope, you're wrong. No, that's just how you make chicks.
Oh,
Very
well,
dry.
okay. Well, there, yeah, that's.
It's probably the
that's,
haircut.
That's
God dang, that was right.
The fact that you have that on there is great. But yeah, I look. I'm glad that they were armed. To be honest with you,
As one should be if you have so many Bitcoins.
Yeah.
You'd be an idiot not to have
Yeah.
a
and
fucking
the
gun in
fact
the
that
house.
her husband was able to do that,
No, not
like,
even security,
almost,
you know?
But the fact that her husband was able to do that almost instantaneously, he must have seen it on there. She must have been able to maybe do something with a phone to like let him know, hey, like fucking shit's going down.
Or he
Yeah.
just constantly walks around with a gun ready to go.
Well, no,
And that could be it. Maybe
I mean,
he beats her and fucking like he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you come here with another man, I'm
well,
gonna shoot him."
I mean,
Yeah.
she straight up posted on X while she was being robbed that she was being robbed.
yes, She did.
So
And-
my
and-
guess
and
is
then-
she probably did text her husband.
Well, and then weirdly enough, said that she ended up shooting someone, but from the reports I've heard, it wasn't her that shot
yeah,
him.
it
It was
wasn't
the
her.
husband.
Yeah, that's
And-
what I heard too.
But like
yeah.
I said, I'm glad. Look, that if more people were actually armed, more like good people, shit like this would be stopped more often.
Yeah.
And it does actually
that's
happen a
just
lot.
It is. It happens a lot. It's just not reported.
No, it's absolutely reported.
Not all the time,
yep.
no.
Or
the
you
F-
just don't hear about it publicly.
The FBI statistics.
saying.
The FBI. That's where it's not reported. It's reported in national databases. The FBI reports that each year over 500,000 people
Would be.
would be victims
Yep.
end up stopping a crime because of a gun that
Yep.
they had. So
But, yeah,
it's
I'm
over
saying it's not
500,000,
reported.
and
not
it's
reported.
never
Yeah,
reported
it's not reported through media
because
that
it's
doesn't-
not as bloody.
Well, it doesn't fit the narrative.
Well-
that guns are bad.
Yeah. Well, there was recently a shooting that was stopped because a guy ended up fucking engaging the guy and killing the guy before he ended up getting anybody.
Yeah.
I
But
think he might have hit a person or two.
probably
but
because that dude had a savior complex and all that, and he was some cis white male that had to have a gun.
that's what it is.
It's fucking stupid,
Yeah.
dude.
Did
Well,
you just use the word
mind-
cis
yeah,
in,
that
in a
mindset
sentence?
pisses me off. I was accused of that because I enjoyed guns. I thought that was it pissed me off. I'm like, oh, because I want to protect my family. I've got a savior complex.
I've actually been meaning to send this to you because it keeps popping up on my YouTube feed. It's the Socialist Gun Club.
Oh, what's that?
Like super far left people
Oh,
in a gun club. And there's like a multi-series or multi-part documentary on these people. It's
It's
fucking
real?
It's real.
Well,
it's
actually,
wild.
I was going to say that far leftists tend to be
well,
okay with guns.
I mean, look at where that actually came from. Like movements like Che Guevara, who actually was not a good guy,
yeah.
but movements like that, those far left movements,
Mhm.
they always had guns.
What was the one? It was the something gun club.
the Socialist Gun Club?
No, it wasn't
the
Socialist
Buyers
Gun
Gun Club.
No.
Dallas
Buyers
Buyers Gun
Gun
Club.
What was it? The John Brown Gun Club or something like that? Or I don't
Jim
remember the name.
Beam?
But it was a leftist like gun club.
The Alcoholics Gun Club. That's a good gun club.
We never miss.
we always have our shots.
Shots, everybody. Shots.
Yeah.
Someone say shots.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun club, dude.
Yeah.
We should fire one up.
An Alcoholics Gun Club?
Fuck yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, we
I've
can
been-
we
dude,
can make jerseys.
Lot
I've
of-
seriously been around
lot
people
of deaths.
that
lot of deaths.
were drinking too much. It's like, I had a friend. We went out shooting. He brought his stepdad. His stepdad decided to drink the whole time and decided that it was a good idea to sneak up on us with a shotgun. My friend had just gotten back from Iraq.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
And the second he saw that, he turned around and, luckily he didn't. I mean, he lost his shit, but he didn't, do something.
Uh-huh.
He lost his shit on him, and he goes, "You do realize I just came back from Iraq, and people that did that to me over there, I turned around and shot. What the fuck are you doing?" Well,
no
all because he
shit.
wanted
Oh,
to drink.
chill out, man.
Yeah, he's like,
Jesus,
chill-
just fucking
I
jokes.
just wanted a beer, bro.
Making fun. This is
Whoa,
fun.
whoa. We all need to calm down.
Yeah, that's
fucking
essentially
hate
what it
that
was. It was
shit,
fucking
dude.
dumb.
It's
I was like, why would you do that?
Start gaslighting.
But I also don't understand why you would want to go and get wasted while fucking shooting.
Because it's fun.
It's not. I don't
It's
like the
all
idea.
fun until someone gets shot in the head.
It's even then it's fun.
Dude, I just watched a documentary on this cop that was fucking shot in New Mexico today, like before coming over here. It's wild because it's on YouTube and they show everything.
Oh, cool.
It's like a 45 minutes long or 50 minutes long. They show everything from the dash cam, all the police cameras that they have, all of that shit. You see everything. This guy was wanted in a sting that they were doing on him to get him for, I think, selling drugs and potentially guns and shit like that. And so they put out a
Sounds
bolo.
like a nice guy.
Well, they put out a bolo on this guy, and they were like, "Hey, if you can help us with this, try to figure out a
big
reason to pull him
Chinese
over."
dude?
Yeah.
Bolo?
Huh? No.
Bolo Young.
No, this guy.
Just sent him after him. He's like, oh shit, get Bolo.
This guy.
You are next.
I don't remember the guy's name, but I could find it.
Biggest Chinese
anyway,
man you've
they-
ever
Fuck
seen.
yeah, that guy was mean as shit.
It was huge.
They ended up pulling the guy over, but the officer that was shot was Darian Jarrett, and he was killed, I think, 3 years ago. But the guy pulled him over. They told him, hey, find a reason to make a reasonable stop.
Yeah.
To make it, look good, and then we'll come up and assist you.
Cops do best, yeah.
And so he pulled him over, and he's like, "Oh, do you have a gun on you? Oh, let me come over and take that off you to for my safety and stuff like that." And the guy said, "Oh yeah, no problems." He gets out of the car, and you can see he's got like an AR-15 pistol on his side, and as he's walking around, he then fucking surprises the cop, shoots him in the chest multiple times, and then as he walks past him, one to the head.
Oh boy!
And then gets in his vehicle, takes off. Right after that, the task force that was there
Is the cop okay?
Yeah, he's fine. Everything's fine.
That's good.
I just read off how he was murdered, but
I
anyway,
thought that was a different cop.
so a long police chase ensues. The dude's now shooting because he's got 3 guns on him.
Jesus.
Is now shooting out the back window at all the cops coming. They finally get spike sticks on him, and then pit maneuver him. After the pit maneuver, the dude, just
Car Swiss cheese after that, I would think.
Dude just, rushes out of his car, immediately. Or it's a truck. But he rushes out of it immediately. As the officer's getting out, shoots that officer. The officer backs up. Luckily, other officers start firing at him now. So now he's backing off.
Yeah.
Because he would have easily killed this other cop, too, because, he had him down. And then that cop that got shot just walks up and unloads on him. Unloads.
Wow.
Dude ends up dying. His wife ends up getting indicted and shit because she bought the guns for him, even though he was a felon. And bought the ammunition. So, just not a good dude overall.
And, of course, the cop died and another got shot, so they're going to come at him hard.
So I can actually...
Come at the wife hard.
It's on a channel called NM Body Cam, so New Mexico Body Cam. It's called Uncensored, the fatal shooting of NMSP officer Darian Jarrett documentary. And it's 45 minutes. I don't know how it showed up. It just showed. It's wild, dude. You guys should check it
Hosted
out.
by Pauly Shore?
No, there's nobody talking in it. They just show you the raw footage through the whole thing.
That's cool, man. Speaking of raw footage.
Raw footage?
Raw footage. Which raw footage are we talking about?
We're looking right at it. Look at that raw footage right
that
there.
Raw footage. Well, hey, so there's been some news past week or so. I don't know if you noticed, but Donald Trump
Who are
and
you talking
Zelensky.
to?
I'm talking to the fucking audience. Who do you think I'm talking to?
Which is just us.
It really is just us. I'll watch this later and be like, hey, he's talking to me.
Talking
Hey,
right to
Tim,
you, pal.
you're going to be like, oh, he means me.
How did he know?
As you're sitting there stroking your pud.
I knew it.
I'm going to make cheese with this later.
Oh, yuck.
Yep.
That might be your best reaction
Say
ever.
it. Kevin's sound effects are the best, dude. They're the best. Ah!
No, yours is pretty good when we talk about spitting in someone's mouth.
Oh, yeah.
That's gagging.
Because that doesn't, it does nothing to me.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not like I'm in it.
No,
Nothing
but
to me.
It doesn't affect me
No,
like
not at all.
it does him either.
That's great,
Oh,
guys.
it's gross.
Let's move
Yeah,
on.
but-
Yeah, I don't
Anyway.
find it appealing.
So at the White House, there was a bit of a
Kerfuffle?
a bit of a kerfuffle
A
between
kerfuffle.
Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and President Volodymyr Zelensky
Well,
of
especially
Ukraine.
when they talked about it later that it was supposed to be basically a ceremonial
Yeah.
thing, and then they were going to go and negotiate stuff.
Yeah, they're
going
to go have lunch and talk more about it.
Yeah.
Zelensky wanted to have cameras on. I think it was his choice to
Well,
say, hey,
because he
let's...
wanted to put the focus on, look, we need this help. They're not doing it.
Oh.
And it was basically, I think, what he was trying
Well,
to do.
I remember Trump saying, even commented right off the guy got off the plane. He's like, oh, it looks like he's dressed to the nines for today's occasion.
Oh, yeah, because
In his
he's
fucking sweat jumpsuit.
dressed like he always
basically
is.
dressed like that.
Pretty much.
Go ahead and pull that up.
So
for
we're
a
going to
second.
show you.
Just
This
one
is
This is
second.
how Zelensky showed up to the fucking White House.
Yeah.
I know.
Right here. Take a look, folks. You're going to love this.
Why would you do this?
What an embarrassment.
And then he kept saying to Trump, touch it, touch it.
This is entertainment, Ukraine.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I get that he was a comedian before, but this doesn't. I don't know why this would be considered like good comedy. If you want to watch that again?
That's
Thank
the
you.
video. That's the
That
video.
was
But
one.
anyway, so I mean that's where he came from.
Was that
Yeah,
TikTok?
that was TikTok.
Well, we got
But
TikTok.
no, that's just a link to TikTok. of a
We can
TikTok
watch
video.
one video, but then you can't do anything
Yeah.
really after
I
that.
got you. Okay.
But Zelenskyy was a comedian before he was president. Basically, that's what we're saying here.
No, he's still a comedian, just not funny.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
there's
that's true.
comedians in this country that's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you're a comedian? What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a thing."
So,
Well, they would, yeah.
but basically, if you didn't see it at the
the
White House,
Kill
it-
Tony episode this week, where Kyle Dunnigan played Bill Maher. Yeah,
No.
that was great.
although I am going to have to check that out. I didn't
That's
see
fucking
that.
hilarious.
It does sound good. But basically, this ended up with
Cool.
President Trump kicking the president of Ukraine out of the White House. Things have changed since. The situation has
Very
changed
much so.
since. But this basically had everybody, well, one side of the country was going, yeah, that was great. Good job, Trump and Vance. And then the
Yep.
other half was going, oh, my God, that's
Well,
the worst thing I've ever seen in
The
my
other
life.
side was saying this will lead to World War III, and then they proceeded with all the leaders that were left-leaning around the world going, let's make this go towards World War III.
Yeah.
Like, what the
like
fuck?
UK saying that they would not only
They-
give more money, but also
They signed
put-
a 120-year commitment
yes,
to them.
and that they were going to put boots on the ground in Ukraine and air support,
Which
and,
would
and-
immediately prompt Russia to attack. My guess it would be any NATO country.
oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then that
yeah.
would enact, what is it, Article 5. Article 5.
Yes, which means we're all at war.
And which would mean that's a world war.
Yeah, everybody knows at war, and then of course we know that more than likely China and other countries
Yeah,
will get involved
of
as well
course.
on the Russian side. So yeah,
And that would not be great.
it was getting a little bit heated for
It
a
was
minute.
a little
there.
dicey. Let's
Yeah,
play the
so we're
fucking
gonna watch
video.
the video of what happened in the White
Jesus
House.
Christ.
Wonderful setup, guys.
Quite a taco.
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say
Let the dog
really
out.
terrible things about
just
Putin
went
and then
out.
say,
She wants out
hi,
again.
Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal? That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of
here.
the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not
The
a
whole
question
time
of
he's thinking,
alignment.
"God damn it, I shouldn't
I'm
have worn
aligned
those
with
coconuts."
the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with
Yes,
Europe.
it's the same guy we just watched. It's
I want to see if we can
Very
get this
different
thing
situation.
Oh,
done.
your phone's dying.
You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
May I say something? Yeah, on that, hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy.
gonna be president
We
someday.
tried the pathway
Probably.
of Joe
It's
Biden
entirely
of thumping our
possible.
chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
this is where it starts to
Okay.
go a bit off the
So-
rails.
He occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea.
Whose fucking head's in the
So
goddamn
he
shop?
occupied it on 2014.
Ah,
I
one
don't
of
know.
the
He's
press
got a very
people.
similar
So-
haircut to Kevin Smith.
Kevin, get the fuck out of the way, dude.
Years, I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was
giving up my good
Obama,
seat.
then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what
That
the
was
contact
Obama.
2015.
Yes.
2014.
2014 and 2015.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was,
he
I
killed.
was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but-
right.
Yes,
That wasn't
but
me.
during 2014 till 2022, yeah, what the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations
wasn't
with
big
him.
news.
A lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation. And we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy?
Here, pause that for
JD,
one
you are
second.
Yeah,
speaking
let's
about?
break
What-
that
what
down
you
real
are-
quick.
So
Okay.
one of the weird things is like when we trade prisoners with Russia, we always trade for like somebody that had a dime bag on them.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
we
yeah.
give them the fucking the
One of the greatest gun runners
yes
in
the guy
in
that
modern
that
history.
we made a movie about
Yeah.
called Lord of War.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the name of that guy?
Oh God.
God,
remember
I
his
can't
name.
remember his name. But like the biggest fucking gun runner in history from Russia, I mean, like, was constantly selling guns to like nations that were actually
Victor
fighting.
Bout.
Yeah, but what was his name? I know that's his actual name, but he had a nickname.
Well, they called him.
That's why you have it pulled up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find his the name people called him.
Well, the question is he's saying that
The Merchant of Death.
Merchant of Death. That's it.
Putin
that's
had signed a ceasefire agreement and broke that agreement. Is that what he's saying?
Yes.
Yes.
So he's done this several times where Putin signed an agreement saying we'll cease fire and then reneges on that.
Look, I've never trusted Putin.
Yeah.
When
So
George
can you blame Zelensky for saying that?
No, I
then?
agree. But look, when George W. Bush went and said, I looked into Putin's eyes and I saw his soul, I was like, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's more to be. I'm sure there's more to this than we're seeing or probably will ever see. or
And that's
hear
entirely
about.
possible. I mean, obviously, we don't see
Look,
what's going on behind closed doors in this.
I don't think that
this
it's a
stuff,
good
so.
idea that fucking Russia invaded in the first place.
I don't either.
But at the same time, how are we going to stop the death? The fucking, I mean, like,
Is that really concerning you?
It concerns me in the fact that it's on Europe's doorstep, and that does lead to a potential spark and a powder keg
that can cause a world
that
war.
causes a world war
Yeah.
where even if we go isolationist like we did in the First World War, the Second World War,
Right.
we will still get dragged into it at some point.
Yeah, there's going to be. I mean, there's going to be trade embargoes and tariffs and stuff like that. We're going to lose.
No,
out
it
on a lot
won't.
of
It'll be
commodities.
worse than that.
No,
It'll-
yeah.
you know, they'll end up having some sort of explosion somewhere.
Right.
And that's the
know?
thing with these sorts of situations. All it takes is a spark in the right place.
Well, you got to
You know,
remember, World War
to
One.
set the fire.
Well, I can't.
World War One. There was all this bad blood between all these countries, and then the thing that sets it off, that it pushes it over the edge, is Franz Ferdinand
the
being
assassination.
assassinated.
Yeah.
A guy that was almost meaningless to most of these countries gets assassinated, and then that sparks all this fucking
Yes.
shit.
It
and
just creates this domino
goes.
effect.
It was
Yeah.
the last domino
Exactly.
to knock down everything.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
what were they asking here of Zelensky to sign the peace agreement?
No, it wasn't just they were setting up for a peace agreement. However, what this was about was signing a minerals deal with the United
Yeah,
States.
that's what this originally was supposed
Yeah.
to be about. But why are we discussing? Why are they discussing? A ceasefire agreement when this is
Because
supposed
he was,
to be
because
a
what
mineral
he's trying to say is, Trump, during your presidency the first time, we still had people dying on our
Yeah.
borders, and you guys did nothing. And it's like,
And he's
well,
saying all these presidents basically did nothing. You know,
Yeah.
all, from this year all the way
well,
to here.
Trump pointed out in this, didn't he say? Well, no, I provided you with what was the special missiles. That
Oh,
took
it
out
was.
tanks.
yeah, we haven't gotten.
We haven't gotten to
Oh.
that point yet. We're gonna get
So,
to that.
maybe
And-
hold
and
on.
they're-
I'm
and-
jumping. I'm jumping the
yeah,
gun
and-
on that
and-
one.
jumping the shark.
And those were javelins, by the way.
Javelins,
But
yeah.
well,
uh,
the same thing we provided to Afghanistan. Look how that worked out for
Yeah.
us.
And
yeah.
Africans.
What? I don't think we ever provided
Did we
it.
provide
No,
javelins
not the
for
javelins.
Africa?
Actually, it wasn't
Oh,
javelins.
spears. I meant.
It was. No. Yeah. Oh, okay. I get it. Wow. No, we Afghanistan. We actually provided the.
Man, that was
What was that?
was racist.
It was the ground to air missile.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that one? Again?
Are those called
Scuds?
SAMs?
They were
or
a type
no,
of SAM. It's not a SAM. We provided them. God damn it! Now I can't remember that
Yeah,
fucking missile. But But we provided it, and it took out
service-to-air missile launchers.
Yeah,
that
they're
the
man
soldiers
pads.
could use.
Man pads, which is man-portable air defense.
Yeah.
We provided that to Afghanistan.
So they could
and,
take out the Russian helicopters.
And
yeah.
the Mujahideen turned out to be great for us.
Yes.
Because they turned into the fucking Taliban.
Eventually,
And
yeah.
then, provided Osama bin Laden a place to stay.
Yes.
Well,
That's a nice history lesson for everybody.
This is going to happen in
it did lead
Ukraine.
up to it. Yeah.
What's going to, because it's already a corrupt country.
So
as we know.
highly corrupt, and and the thing is that obviously, in this
Can
whole
we hear
situation.
from Zelenskyy?
Jesus Christ. Let's just continue with the fucking video.
I just thought that was a funny
What
time
do
to
you
start.
mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong-
with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower
there's been
problems.
some videos
You
of
should
that.
be
I've seen it.
thanking the president for
Have
trying
you
to
put
bring
the
it into
fuck
this
out of
Have you
conflict.
ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's
I will
respectful
answer.
to come to the Oval Office
I
of the
will
United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't know
God
that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're
that
trying to
pissed
solve a
Trump off.
problem.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
that
tell
pissed
us what
him
we're
off.
going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right
feel
now
my
not
wife's
in a very good
breasts.
position.
They're gonna
You've
feel-
allowed
You're gonna
yourself
feel
to
some
be in a
coconuts.
very bad position, and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right
I'm not
now, you're
playing
not
cards.
playing
Serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What do you-
III.
what do you
You're
speak about?
gambling with
What do you
World
speak
War
about?
III. And what you're
He's
doing
being
is
kind
very
of a fucking
disrespectful
bull brat for
to the
sure.
country,
What are you
this
talking about?
country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting, have
today.
you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of
you
America
speaking about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country
He's
is in
like,
big
don't
trouble.
talk shit to my
Can I-
boy.
Wait a minute.
Whoa,
No,
whoa,
you've done a
whoa.
lot of talking. Your country is in
This
big
is the
trouble.
weirdest threesome
know.
I've ever
You're
seen.
not winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said
What?
thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
He said he's
cabinet.
been
You haven't
alone.
alone in this
What
We
the
cabinet.
gave you,
fuck?
through
I
the
said
stupid
thank you.
president, $350 billion.
Yeah.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and your
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West
if
Indies?
you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
accept
times
that there,
thank you
accept
to
that,
American people.
accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I
over
understand,
there.
sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be
he's
thankful.
such a fucking-
You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
That's why I kept
You're
this going.
buried
for so
there.
long.
You're,
Oh my
you're
Look,
God.
and I
people are
do
dying.
actually
You're
feel
running
for
low
Zelenskyy
on
a little bit.
soldiers.
Just because of the fact that
You're
Please,
running
Mr.
low on
President.
You're the president
soldiers.
of a country
It
that's
would
been
be a
attacked.
damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this.
This
Look,
started off on the wrong foot.
if you could get a
yeah.
ceasefire right now, I
And
tell you,
you
you
could tell
take
that
it so
was
the
in
bullets
Trump's
stop
problem
flying
all
and
the
your
time.
men
And
stop
I'll
getting
bet
killed.
Of course we want to
in
stop
on
the
it too.
war,
But
but
You're
I
saying
said,
you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
that
what
wasn't
is-
with
Hey,
me.
pause it again. Really
That
quick.
was
Why not take the ceasefire even if Putin is gonna fucking
I mean,
what's
imperfect
Zelensky
peace is better
arguing
than
here?
no peace.
What I'm saying is what is Zelensky arguing here?
He
It's like,
he
no,
wants.
I don't want
he
a
wants,
ceasefire.
Because I think he wants other terms.
Yeah, and he
And I
wants
get
security
that.
guarantees that Putin will not attack again.
yeah, how
but
does
there's
one
no way to.
guarantee that? Yeah,
no,
that's
because Putin's done it twice now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he also did it to Georgia.
Yeah,
So
Not
right.
the
that's-
U.S.
No, the other Georgia.
that's kind of what I mean. Is what is he expecting of the president right now? It's like, okay, well, here's some more money for your problems.
Yeah.
And
And
Is that what this
done,
is?
And look where that's got us. It's
That's-
just prolonged the war.
that's what I
but
mean.
they're not winning.
I don't understand
No.
why Zelensky's being so abrasive right now because it doesn't benefit him. In the ways
look,
of
my guess is
what's the end game for him right now in this conversation?
my guess is they had probably some heated words before this even started.
Yeah,
And
what
that's
I'm-
why
yeah.
it ended up
Yeah.
going this route.
Right.
Not to
in
mention,
here.
I'm pretty sure, and a lot of other people noticed this too. When J.D. Vance was kind of chastising Zelensky muttered under his breath,
Oh, he said
"Suka."
suka.
Yeah, he called him a bitch. Yeah,
Wait, what?
he did.
Yeah, he called
There's
him
a
a
part where
bitch.
he literally
Suka.
he says "suka," Russian for bitch.
It's also Ukrainian.
Ukrainian too, yeah, but
Because there's similar languages.
very there's
Not
a
the
lot of
same.
similarities. Yeah, not the
No,
same, but they got
that-
some.
No,
that's-
I've heard it. I've heard
Yeah.
the actual audio clip of
Yeah.
it.
Zelensky called our
He
vice
said it
president-
under his
yes,
breath.
While
Yeah.
he's talking, you can
While
hear
JD
him
was.
just mutter "suka."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was when J.D. Vance was telling him that he hasn't been to Ukraine, but he's seen like the videos and he's seen people
'Cause he
talking
goes-
about stuff.
He goes "suka" and then
kind of
fades
sits
off.
back. Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that more of a nonsense? Oh, Jesus type.
No, he's just calling him a bitch. He's
Yeah.
like, "You're being a bitch."
I mean, that was definitely the body
Look,
language.
I get
what
it.
you're saying.
You
yeah.
got to remember, this is a heated conversation. People say things. And,
Yeah.
look, I don't fault him for it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people were like, freaking out. It's like,
Yeah.
I get it. It's a heated conversation.
Right. And obviously, these are very, high stakes discussions. And I mean,
Because
lots of lives are in jeopardy right
look,
now
we
over this.
we teetered on the potential of actual like ballistic missiles flying when we started supplying them with things that could hit inside of Russia.
The ATACMS, yeah. And
So-
Biden gave Zelensky and the Ukrainians the okay to start using those.
Yeah.
Which was a big mistake.
I agree. I think that protect your borders. I get it.
Yeah.
You want to hit military installation. I mean, they also attacked the Kremlin at one point.
They did.
Remember
with,
they took a
with
drone
Drones, yeah.
and fucking flew it all the way to the Kremlin, which
Yeah.
is wild.
Yeah.
Now that one wasn't. I don't think was directly linked to us. There was one though
No,
that was linked to us that we ended up having some drone end up on a beach in Russia and blew up some people.
That I didn't hear about.
Yeah, that one was a while ago. That one they kind of blamed on us, and I
Well,
don't know,
and
it's
now
weird.
apparently Germany is claiming that they're
Get off your phone.
they're apparently claiming that
Fucking douchebag.
the pipeline that was destroyed, the Germans think that the Ukrainians did that.
Oh well, I think we probably did it.
I mean, I heard that too.
You know.
But the Germans seem to think that.
But I could also see us going,
Ukrainians did
hey,
it.
let's see if the Mossad would do this for us because they've done shit.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? And I mean, it could have been a joint plan thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it was also one of the red lines that Putin had that if that
Yes.
got blown up, that would be like the end.
Yeah.
And luckily he didn't hold to that.
Yeah,
because
no,
that would have been crazy if missiles start flying because of that.
Absolutely. And the thing is, like what we were talking about earlier about NATO crossing these red lines and breaking these promises they made about not expanding into the east and that sort of thing. And we have for the past 20 years, we've basically, broken every one of Putin's red lines that he's, set in all the promises we've made. And still, he hasn't started shooting missiles off,
No,
which is
look,
good.
I still don't trust Russia.
I don't either. I don't either. I think Putin is a fucking He's a fucking monster.
But I also grew up during like the end of the Cold War.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
like look, I remember having an exchange student in my French class from East Berlin.
Oh, really?
And she, you know, I was like, wow, that's actually fucking interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
What's the Stasi like?
I kind of want to
You
talk
know?
to this chick about this shit. That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Having an East Berliner in my French class,
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy.
Well, and I, you know, as much as we can't trust Putin, you know, or any of his, you know, cabinet or anything like that.
No, I mean, they
it's
go
certainly better than having the Soviet Union. You
I-
know, I don't. You know, I still think that they're not as powerful as the
It
Soviet
depends.
Union
I mean,
was.
Gorbachev wasn't terrible.
I guess not. What was it? The other guy?
Khrushchev?
No, not Khrushchev. The one of the last
Rasputin?
ones.
No.
No.
Shut the fuck up. You don't talk anymore.
That was a long time ago.
You're all.
Tell me to get off my phone to engage, but
Boris
Nicholas the First?
this isn't
It
in
was
my wheelhouse.
It was one of
guys.
the last. He was like the really drunk
Rasputin.
Russian president. You know, Boris.
Don't look away, you fucking cocksucker.
Boris Yeltsin.
That's it. Boris Yeltsin. Yes. We had a decent, you know, relationship with him.
Yeah.
And
Khrushchev, actually, we had an okay
yeah.
relationship with him. It wasn't as contentious as we propagandized here.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you know, we always during the Cold War and stuff. I mean, Russians
Dude,
were
I remember the
they're
fucking
the perpetual villain.
talks in the classes like, well, if nuclear war, I'm like, I thought we were like long done with this. From what I've heard from my parents, like they did the fucking drills of hiding under the desk.
Absolutely, my dad's told me about when he was in school and they would do that.
I remember early on they talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? So we're gonna die at some
Yeah.
point? That's crazy.
I remember my dad told me when he was a kid, you know, they sent everybody home, and this was like during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
They're like,
and he was
hide
like,
under your kindling.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Well, he said he saw, well,
All I can
I
hear
forget
is Tim
who,
breathing.
I forget who it was that was leading the country at their, you know, Russia at that time. But they said that he saw him on TV and he was like, this man who's never met me wants to kill me. Like he could not, he couldn't fathom that. You know, you know, of course he was a kid then, but still, it was we got really close to fucking a serious war back then.
Well, I remember listening.
Well, isn't
to,
that what's teetering right now?
Yes.
Yes.
What we're potentially seeing right here on the screen
Well,
yeah.
is this conversation between these two political figures deciding our fate.
Well, yes and no, because
Yeah, yes and
something
no,
that just came out, I think it was today, right? Mm-hmm. Zelenskyy actually posted on X.
Yeah.
And he posted that, look, we're going to work closely with President Trump, and we're going to try to get this deal done.
The minerals deal, yeah.
No, not just the mineral deal. To fucking end this,
end
fucking
it.
the
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah.
He's prepared to sit down and really actually iron something out. And, you know, he even was on there on the X post. He said, like, how thankful he was to America and to all of our allies and all this stuff.
and
you know.
all that shit, yeah.
Basically doing the things he wouldn't do during this meeting. And because obviously he realizes, I mean, this could have
he doesn't
ruined everything for him.
He doesn't want to look weak in front of his people, but
No.
But I don't think this was necessarily the right place to do this.
Yeah.
Because, like I said before, this was supposed to be a ceremonial thing where they got in front of the media, like, hey, look, we're
Shook
doing
hands.
good. Yeah,
Shaking
that type of
hands
thing.
for the camera,
and then
all that
go
stuff,
and do
yeah.
the negotiating part
Right.
afterwards,
Yes.
where they could potentially get heated and
Yeah.
right.
you know.
Which is what we're seeing unfold right,
Right.
now.
It
which
ended
should've-
up blowing up here.
But I heard Biden had the same issue with him over the phone
Yes.
and cursing him out too.
Yeah. Apparently, Zelenskyy is not exactly an easy guy to deal with.
Well, and I can
apparently.
look. You got to remember, he's also getting bombed.
That's true.
So-
and you got to get.
And
you
we're
gotta
also
think
seeing-
of it from his perspective.
We're
know?
also
I mean,
seeing two things that we haven't seen. One that we haven't seen in a very long time: trench warfare.
That's right.
And then we're seeing another thing that we've never seen before:
Drone warfare.
Drone warfare.
Yeah,
It's fucking nuts.
Where you
brand,
have-
brand new, basically.
Where you have two separate types of drones that are a big problem out there, and
Yeah.
that doesn't include like the other drones that you know are like actual like almost predator drone type things.
Yeah.
But the two main drones that are really being used to fight over there are the ones that drop the hand grenades or
Yeah.
mortars or whatever the fuck they're dropping, and then FPV drones, which are fucking scary.
They're terrifying.
I've seen some crazy videos. Some guy trying
Yeah.
to dodge him through a pole.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he kept shimmying around this pole as this drone was trying to just circle around him the whole time. And he's trying to keep this pole and the drone and this pole in between him and the drone. And ultimately, the drone just flew right into him and blew up. But he was hoping to deflect at least some of the explosion. Didn't work out because he tripped up.
It's scary shit. It's scary
not
shit.
Just that, they're also fucking with them.
Yeah.
They're not just. You remember the video that I brought onto the show where the Ukrainian drone flew around these two North Korean soldiers until one of the soldiers ended up shooting the other soldier, so they could get both of them at the same time.
Yeah, it's
so they're not just fucking bombing; they're fucking with them.
It's like it's a psychological thing as well. Yeah,
it's a human thing. Is what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Some guy with a Game Boy controller or an Xbox controller just.
I like how you bring up Game Boy. Like
I don't know. That's old school, I guess. We start talking about Gorbachev and that's
A and B.
But no,
it's
that's
his
essentially what he's
customized drone
doing. He's playing a
controller.
video game thing, and this is fun.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, this is what you would do in a fucking Call of Duty lobby.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And then probably say a bunch of racist shit.
But it's they probably were doing that too.
Yeah.
But that's just it. It's ending real lives.
Yeah.
But the point of this is what I'm curious again is they were supposed to have this conversation between closed doors, correct?
Behind closed doors.
Behind closed
but,
doors, yeah.
And
Not between
was it,
them.
Was it Zelenskyy
That would be tight
that said,
fit.
"Hey, let's keep the cameras going. Let's do this out here"? Or is it just,
no, see,
or
that's
he just
the
brought
thing.
it up in the middle of this whole.
That
supposed
seems like he
handshake.
just brought it up in the middle.
He brought it up, yeah.
So yeah, that's,
and then
okay.
it started
it's-
devolving because the other two
So
obviously.
my guess would be that he brought it up because he was hearing the other two speak and going, well, this isn't what we're going to talk about or in this way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring it up right now, and we're going to fucking start hashing this shit out here. And so
he obviously took issue with something J.D. Vance
Do you
said
think
as
this was
well.
designed that way?
no.
In a way.
I don't think
Like,
so.
He had no designs of doing this, and they
Oh.
had no designs of doing it. It just
No,
happened.
I think that it probably was just more of a heated because he got heated during this. Look,
Yeah.
you got to realize we're in a country where we're not getting bombed. Imagine being in a country where you are getting
But
bombed.
yeah, and then
you're
having
the
to
one
go to a superpower and say, "Hey,
yes, where you're in a place where you don't know if a bomb is gonna fucking go off anywhere near you, and now you're in a place where we don't have to worry about that.
yeah."
Yeah, because like I was watching
Yet.
the ambassador to Ukraine
Just wait.
talk about
Those oceans.
the American ambassador to Ukraine talking about this meeting he had with Zelenskyy, and he said during the days and evenings, like they have to have all the lights off, like in his office, so that and all around the building and everything, so that nobody outside can see like shadows of people through the windows
Yeah.
and
Makes
stuff
sense.
because they're afraid of getting bombed. You know.
Well, not just bombed. You could also get assassinated,
Sniper.
even by one of
Exactly.
your own guys, because
Yeah.
you're like, let's end this.
Yeah. So I mean, they're literally having those sorts of living conditions over there. You know, even
So that's why he hasn't gone back to his country. He's still hanging out here in the States.
No, the weird thing is though, he actually goes back quite a bit.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in there quite often. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not saying where
Doesn't
he's
he
at.
have a house here in the States though?
I don't know.
Zelensky's got a property here or something. I heard
I don't
Maybe.
know.
like
I
$1
don't
million
know.
property. Like
It's possible.
Maybe
very
he
well
does.
taken care of.
I have no idea. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
his
don't- I don't
fucking-
either.
I'm not his coordinator.
Real estate
But
agent.
you know,
not
there's
that
a
either.
photo too while this is going on of the Ukrainian
That you're not gonna bring up?
ambassador. Well, I don't know if I can find it.
but
But basically,
we're
they're
basically
let's
at the
finish
end.
up the
she's
video
face
first.
palming while this is going on.
Yeah, I heard about
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Just burying her
Okay,
hands.
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, let's
We
finish
can
this up.
End this out, and then
with a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards.
those eyebrows
with us,
go up when
you
you
have
said
the
that?
cards, but without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry, here.
It's going to be a tough deal to make,
Um,
because the attitudes have to change.
what if Russia breaks ceasefire? What
I mean,
if
that'd be
Russia
offensive
breaks
to attitudes
peace
when
talks?
people are
What will you
dying.
do then?
Yeah.
I understand that it's a heated.
Well, it's always the
What are
poor
you
people
saying?
that die.
What
She's
if
asking,
Russia-
what if
if
Russia
Putin
breaks the
breaks
ceasefire?
for
What
the-
if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot
Actually,
with me.
kinda
He went
gave
through
him
a
a-
phony
yeah,
witch
yeah.
hunt
they
where they
could- they
used
do.
him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter
trying his
Biden,
hardest not to
Joe
curse.
Biden
You can
scam.
tell.
Hillary Clinton.
He's like, fuck you
Shifty
guys.
Adam Schiff. It was
I
a
can tell.
Democrat
You
scam.
can see Zelensky's
And he had
body
to go
language.
through that.
Like, he's
and
just,
he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom.
Out of his ass.
It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff.
What does this have to do with anything?
All I
right
can
now?
say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out.
Hey, said
and
thank
if
you.
we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thank you.
Wow. Turns into a fucking madhouse at the end.
We'll see. I don't know.
All right, guys, come on. Wait, hey, guys, come on, let's move, please.
Don't touch me.
What the fuck, dude? But the craziest part of about that is just watching, like, you're right. Some of the body language.
Yeah, the body language said a lot.
Well, the body language when Trump said, like, "Hey, look, Putin didn't break deals with me." When Zelensky was like, "Yeah,"
he's like, yeah. He's like,
kinda
he didn't respect Biden, but he respects me. He's like, yeah.
You know,
Well,
and
that's because Zelensky thinks those two are in bed together. He totally believes that him and Putin.
Well, the
Zelensky
Democrats
believes
certainly
No, he
think
doesn't.
that.
Zelensky believes that Trump and Putin have already made a deal without him. Remember how pissed off he was when they met up?
Yes, he was pissed off about that.
Yeah.
and that's
'Cause they weren't
probably what led
included,
to this.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Zelensky believes it like the way the American people believed it when fucking Hillary Clinton kept saying Russiagate, Russiagate, Russiagate.
Yeah.
No, what
Because
I'm saying,
that was complete fucking bullshit.
No, I'm
it
saying
was.
right now, Zelensky probably believes that there's already been an agreement made with Putin and America. And
I
Trump.
don't
I don't
so.
know.
Because that was what that meeting was
Well,
prior
no,
to.
th-
and then,
no,
Well,
he-
that meeting was
because
just
it was-
greasing the wheels, just getting to try to get it was to get talks started.
And if Zelensky
move
was
towards
pissed off
deals.
about it, it's because the media portrayed it as that.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
That's what was happening.
That's what we just saw. I
No,
thought.
the media was portraying that meeting as something more than what it was. It was
Yeah.
a fucking. He's
They were,
right.
yeah.
It was a grease the wheels so
Yeah.
we can come to the table.
Right. And the media was sitting there saying like, "Oh, this was an ambush by
Yeah,
Trump and
and
Vance."
that's
It's like, no, this
not
is
what it-
this obviously was a natural thing that
Yeah,
happened
it
in the
looked
moment.
like
you
to
know?
me that's what it looked like. It looked like somebody that was like, "I don't like what you're saying right now, so I'm going to say my piece."
Yeah.
and
yeah.
then it got heated.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and
fuck you guys. Let's end the show.
Is that it? Huh?
Yeah.
all right.
Otherwise, I'm gonna get heated and we're gonna fight. Oops. All right.
That's the wrong one.
That's the beginning of the show.
This is the beginning.
Anyway, goodbye everybody. Thank you for listening or watching or whatever, however you consume this nonsense.
Hopefully both.
Yeah, do both. You know. Anyway, yeah, like, subscribe, tell your friends, comment, rate, review, blah 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 blah. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Take time into the madness. No time for control from politics to pop culture. We'll preach your blood.